Oh yeah, go ahead, pump it up. I'd love to catch a firefly that's far away. I see your whole crew staring as I put this beat down. You're like a soup can, I'm like Superman. I saw Veronica, the girl that put you off blast, cause you played harmonica in art class. I know you want her to, but you don't move cause you don't have any shoes. You touch a pom-pom, I touch an A-bomb. Aw yeah.
20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill. It's not about what they want, you just gotta walk your walk.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another On the Sensors production. So Majo here, and look who we have back with us today, Mr.
Good
Jrak.
evening.
Welcome
Good
back
evening.
from your hiatus, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, I took a little break, but it's nice to be back on some videos, you know.
Excellent, man. Well, we hope life's been treating you well. Glad to have you back on the cast here, man. So today we've got an interesting topic. We have want to talk a little bit about positivity and negativity, salt and toxicity in the community. What can make us act that way when we're playing or frustrated, and the impact that can have on the player base, on the community, on new players. Just want to sort of package all that together and talk about some key concepts and things that as this game is really built on the strength of the community, how critical that is, right? We're the lifeblood, right? If we're not growing, we're sort of stagnating in some ways. So we have to be mindful of that. So yeah, that's really the topic for today. So Jack, before I get into some of the things I wanted to mention, did you want to come out with anything in particular?
Just that this, it's a little bit of a touchy topic, but however highly we may hold ourselves, it's so that we can all be susceptible. I know I'm guilty of this. So it's something worth talking about, how easily being toxic is, and what it actually does, and how we can avoid it as well.
Yeah, good call. I think on that note, one of the hardest things to overcome is just the variance of your dice, of your hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't roll what you need, right? And it happens repeatedly. And sometimes it's RNG. You could roll
It's the game
blank.
we play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the game we play. We play with the dice.
Yeah. So and I get it, but I think sometimes there's a feeling of, I don't know if entitlement is the right word, but this feeling of like, I deserve to roll better, right? And that it's hard to overcome that, but it's important to be aware of it.
You can never plan to roll out your Darth Bane with his 8 upgrades or something and think, I will get this exact number and this will be exactly enough to kill you. There's too much variance in it. We can plan and use probability and stuff. That's great. That's really advanced. But, you can never, fully be assured of something, I guess. So, which is where the rage comes from when you don't get the exact roll you need.
Yeah.
I'd say, if that's something you're worried about, then you have to plan for it. But putting it on your opponent almost, that if I'd done this, if fortune be on my side and it'd been slightly worse for you, I would have won, because we could say that about literally anything. If you're worried about the odds of it, then plan for it. Get some focus in your life. Get some control. Yeah, but it's the point is it's not on your opponent. If it's if the things that go in your favor, it's on you. Or if the 1 in a million happens, you just get blanks every time or whatever.
Right.
The point is that it's never your opponent's fault if fortune doesn't go in your favor.
Yeah, and I think to expand on that, people can play what they want to play, right? I mean, I know in the past, like just using pirates as an example, because it was pretty pervasive that people really didn't like playing against that, and until it was sort of all figured out, I think for a couple of events there was like a gentleman's agreement. People said, you know what, just no pirates tonight, and that was fine, right? It was like a pre-agreement, so to speak. But in absence of that, like, people are going to play what they want to play. we all have opinions of certain cards or characters or upgrades or whatever, and like if that card gets played against you, sometimes it's unfortunate or you might not like it, but it doesn't give you the right to bash someone, or you know what I mean. It's tough, right? It's frustrating, but
Yeah.
we're gonna play what we want to play. This is a game we enjoy playing. We have fun with my limited time when I'm not taking care of the kids or working. Like I want to play this game. I want to have fun. I choose the cards I want to play. And you just have
Yeah.
to think about that.
No, definitely. I mean, because people's opinions of like the cars change so much. The cars that have a genuine issues with them, that's why we have erratas. Droids, people had a genuine issue, and so did FG. That's why they changed it. But like I played DJ for a very long time, and I have some people go, "Oh, die," and I have other people go, "Oh, that's really cool that works." Annoying, but it's kind of cool. Same like I've had people rage quit against me when I've played Django Daka Witches, and I've gone over people going, "I can't believe this is in the game," but it's kind of cool. It's a bit different, But if there's a deck that everyone has an issue with, it will have been changed. This is the point, or someone should have changed it, like Pirates, for example. That's why there was these gentlemen's agreements, because they were horrible and not much about them was done. So yeah, I think it's just that you can have issues with certain characters, but the points of sense that not everyone has that issue. You can't expect them to be banned or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And the other thing, and I know I've been guilty of this, but if you go to a semi-competitive or competitive event, whether it's a weekly or I don't know, a release event or a mid-cycle or something, and you show up with like an off-meta deck, which I've tried to do many times, and don't just level your expectations, because you might get crushed, and it's happened to me. You want to show up, you want to sort of surprise the meta, or sort of have something that can upset like the top deck, and
Yeah.
and sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but it's a very fun and respectable thing to do, is to try that, right? To be a home brewer, make something that no one's thought of. But you have
and
to
if you
expect what you get if you don't do so well.
if you make something that's badass and then prove it to be badass, it's badass.
Yeah.
I tried to do something with Pom Krell. I took him to quite a few events before he actually won anything. But I think it's like, you can't, if there are metas and stuff, you're gonna lose. It's the meta's the most consistent thing going.
Yeah.
You can't get like disheartened about it. And I know some people get very, very possessive about their characters. Like, oh no, this would never happen. R2D2 couldn't possibly beat Darth Vader. Which it's easy to do, and of course makes sense. But they are just cars. It's awesome. If you win something with a character you love, that's great. But don't feel it's an attack against your character. It's fine. We get it. You like them. Great.
Yeah. And I think I wanted to do this topic just because, again, like we said at the beginning, the game needs players to continue to have a healthy, strong community, active community. And you never know when you're going to be up against someone who's brand new, right? Someone who saw one of the dozens of posts in Facebook, or one of our videos, or any number of other videos, and like they saw, hey, man, there's a large community. I want to join this Discord. I want to get in this event. You never know when you're up against someone new, and if you suddenly have sort of like an outburst, they may never come back, right? So like, their play experience is going to determine whether they stay in the community or whether they leave it. So we have to be mindful of that.
It's a nice game to get into this as well. It's not something like Legion or Armada that's going to completely break your bank. I've had quite a few people who I've taught up Destiny and stuff. Because it's so much easier to get into. It's so much easier for me to go, oh, what character do you like? Oh, you really like Chewbacca, do you? Well, there's this cool thing. You can get it for about £3 or £4. Instead of going, okay, so you need to build this enormous army, whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's a very accessible game, and it looks very appealing as well. If you just show someone a card, it's like, oh, it's kind of cool. So we have, quite a nice, steady flow of new players. If we didn't, we wouldn't still, be here at this point. Because it'd only be diehard players. But yeah, so it's a good point that we have this steady flow. So let's like try and be like kind of positive for people about if you're playing something that's regarded to be horrible, that it's what they want to play. Leave them to it. It's their choice, not yours.
That's right. Yeah, and I think you said something interesting. I kind of think that those of us who still play this game, who still like after work, we like it's just what we do. It's a hobby. It's fun. Like when we got downtime, free time, we choose to play it. Even just like being on Discord, hanging out, with you or Polly86, Duncan. It's just like fun, right? It's like hanging out with my buddies. And and those of us who have that sort of commitment to the game or really enjoy playing it a lot, it's almost like we're sort of stewards of the game. It's almost like we have a responsibility to think a little bit about community, player experience, and because it's like balanced on a knife's edge, right? Too much negativity could mean like a fallout or people leaving. We don't want that, right? We want to grow. So
yeah, you can't you can't take it too seriously. Like it'd be hilarious that if someone who's rage quit against me because me claiming my Corellia into my domination, and they're tossing a 10 at 4 a.m. like how dare he do this? It's just a game. It's just what I'm playing. You can't
that's funny.
You take it too personally, I guess, which some people do.
Yeah.
Some people get way too into it, like, oh no, this thing, it's got a 78% win rate. How could you do this to me? It's easily done, but we have to avoid it. Otherwise, not nice words will be said about us.
Yeah, agreed, man. Well, I think that was pretty good. That was a pretty good chat. Pretty honed in. I wanted to touch on a few points there. Happy that, you chimed in too, Jrak. Good to have you back, man. Did you have anything else before we close out?
I think just the main point of this is that if people are playing decks, what they play, as long as it's in the rules of the event or whatever, it ain't your choice. Have your opinions about it, but fundamentally, it's not up to you, and you shouldn't influence what someone else plays. That ain't fair. As long as they're playing completely legal stuff, then it's not up to you.
Yeah, well said.
If you have a genuine concern about a card, bring it up with whoever made it. But if someone's just playing the cards that have been given, then it's nothing to do with them or you.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just sort of reiterate, what I said a couple minutes ago, that with new players, their experience is it's always a fork in the road. Do I want to continue to play this game or not? Right? I'll easily move on to other things. It's all hinging on the experience I have when I play with other people, right? It's a people game, right? I mean, what game isn't really, but all about the interactions we have. So, well, cool, man. Awesome. This was good. Yeah, I appreciate you coming back, Jrak. We'll hope to see you around a lot more,
good.
man.
Yeah, very good.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye, guys.